Okay.
All right. 5:30, meeting's called to order. Rhonda, can we have the roll call, please? Here.
Here. Here. Here.
Here.
Here.
Okay. Flag salute. Joyce.
Okay.
Pledge allegiance to
To the flag
of
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are your parents here?
No, but my mom's watching online.
Okay. Hi, Mom.
Vision and mission statement, please.
Our vision statement is world-class schools for world-class students. Our mission statement, the North Little Rock School District and the community will provide for achievement, accountability, acceptance, and the necessary assets in the pursuit of each student's educational success.
Thank you. Do we have any recognition tonight?
We do not. We do not have any special recognition, superintendent, honor, or parent, so it would be executive closed session.
Okay. Let me read for everybody. Executive closed session per North Little Rock School District Policy 1.14 stating that private or closed discussions by the board may occur as part of a regular or special board meeting. Executive sessions may be held only for the purpose of considering employment, appointment, promotion, demotion, discipline, resignation of an employee, or to discuss matters of pupil punishment if requested by parent or legal guardian. No resolution, agreement, or motion shall be considered in executive session as legally binding unless the board reconvenes in public session and presents the item for a vote of membership. Additionally, by Arkansas Code Title 25, Chapter 19, we need to state why we're going into executive session, and so will you please join me in executive session to discuss employment, appointment, promotion, demotion, discipline, or resignation of an employee. Do we have any public comments tonight? Any public comments? Okay, none. We'll move on to board member and superintendent involvement. I'll let you start, Dr. Redis.
Well, I went to the new teacher luncheon. It was fabulous. Of course, the convocation. Love the energy. Oh my goodness, love the energy. I followed Dr. Paluski to every single presentation, so it's been a very long week. Went to stop by Boone Park before I came to the board meeting. I was in awe. They passed out 50 copies of a folder, and they ran out because there was so many parents there. I mean, the house was full. People were standing. It was, and the energy of the teachers coming out, and, you know, I high-fived them all. It was great. It was great to see. And that's it. I'm looking forward to going to El Dorado on Friday to the Wildcat game.
There you go.
All right, for me, new teacher luncheon presentation that was held at Ridge Road, that was Pikeview, Ridge Road, Amboy. North Little Rock COE Parent Night, hosted by Dr. St. Louis, which was real informative. That was on the 13th. District convocation, stopped by the 7th, 8th grades campus open house, and stopped by the 6th grade open house, 6th grade campus open house. It was a lot of energy, and I helped direct people to where they needed to go. And stopped by, delivered backpacks at Ridge Road, Amboy, Boone Park got theirs today. I still have some more campuses to hit. Was still able to share some school supplies with the 6th and 7th grade campus. And just want to thank Patrick Schroeder and from Baldwin Shell, Robert with Synergistic. We had some various community donations. A couple of board members were able to donate. Thank you, Ms. McLean and Ms. Temple and Mr. Steele. And then we also had our wonderful district office that jumped in big time to assist. And just thank you all so much. So I've been filling backpacks all week by myself. So we go, thank God.
Thank you. Ms. Williams?
Basically, I've done what these folks did. Went to the new teacher luncheon, and then we were with all of the schools this week, and that was pretty amazing. We're with Dr. Paluski. I don't know how he's still standing and still talking. I don't know how you have a voice left, but it was wonderful, and got to interact with teachers at these campuses, and that was nice. The convocation was great in the gym. Loved that. And I know that we look forward to that next year, too, being all together. I felt like a big family, North Little Rock School District family, because we were all together. And it's been a long time since that's happened. The last time I remember was when we would go in over at East Campus, and everybody could fit in there. So that was nice.
I think ditto all what Dr. Redis said, probably with the exception of the 7th Street Advisory Meeting, which you'll hear more about that. The result of that a little later. I think we're off to a good start.
I attended everything that Dr. Paluski attended except personal meetings. So if there was a convocation, new teachers luncheon, and the 3 days that we've been busy as board meetings, I went to everything that he asked us to do. And I appreciate you for your leadership.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Okay, I'll go quickly. It's been busy, just about everything that everybody said. But I do want to draw your attention to July 30th. We did meet with Taggart Architects and Coach Blond, Dr. Hooper and I, Mr. Brown, for the preliminary drawing of what the new potential indoor sports complex can actually look like. So that's going to be coming to you very shortly for your review and approval before we start going out to talk about the millage campaign. On August 1st, I want to thank Mr. Barnes. We've had a joint communication and partnership between the mayor's office, the North Little Rock School District, and the North Little Rock Police Department about senior roll night. That's on its, we know that's a big thing here in North Little Rock, and the mayor and the police chief have been very clear about it's okay to have some fun, but some of that's gotten out of hand, so we're going to continue to push that communication out to our families. On August the 1st, I did have lunch with Mr. Keeling. He's been a huge supporter of North Little Rock and a big advocate for getting the farm. We're going to be having that farm new complex out on the 6th grade campus. Baldwin Shell had been a part of that. We're going to have a groundbreaking here coming up. Obviously, the new teacher luncheon. On August the 5th, I did attend Coach Reed. The football team had their student athlete night where they brought in their parents and talked about expectations. That was great. Everybody's mentioned all of our back to school. We've been at every campus this week welcoming back our teachers, and then certainly convocation this week in the arena with air for the very first time. That was a milestone in and of itself. And we hit the 6th and 7th grade campus today. And then don't forget that we've got 3 days left before students come.
Oh. Yay. We ready. Is that the theme song? We ready.
All right, do we have a legislative update tonight?
No,
Okay.
no update. Thank you.
And I don't think Classified had any presentation tonight, and the license either, correct? All right, so information items it is.
Yes, ma'am. Madam President, members of our Board of Education, it's that time of year again where all of our executive leaders provide our back to school this year. We divided it in 2 sections. So I believe in section 1, the first part is going to be more of our operations team. So I'll have those individuals come forward. Remember, our part of opening schools report is for all of our department heads to give you a 30,000-foot view of everything that they've been working on to successfully open schools in the next 3 days. So with that, I'll turn it over to my colleagues. I'm trying to think who's up. It's opening of schools part 1. Looks like budget and finance, human resources, communications, student services, school safety, nutrition. So all those individuals, and I'll kick it off with, I know Mr. Brown has a back-to-school night for his own family, so Ms. Edwards, if you're going to, if everybody for the record would just state their name and your position, and then we'll be off and running. So this is our time of the year to share with our community all the things that we've done to help open schools.
Good evening, Madam President and board members. I'm Keisha Edwards. I'm standing in for Mr. Brown. He's on daddy duty tonight. So I just want to go over some things that we're working on in the finance department.
Do we have somebody got, oh. Yep. There's our, purpose. There you go. There you go.
Okay. We did interim close for fiscal year 24. That was due on June 30th. We opened the books or the ledgers for fiscal year 25 on July 1. We submitted cycle reports to ADE on July 23rd, which was basically your teacher salary and salary information from fiscal year 24. We created new contracts for new hires. We've been doing that since June and still doing it as we get new employees. So getting ready to submit Cycle 9. That information is due August 31st, so we're working on that information. And then we'll begin to work on Cycle 1, which is the budget information, which is due September 30th. Principals and directors for fiscal year 25 budget meetings, we're starting that. We started in April, and we'll continue that through October. We continue that through October of 24. All buildings now have their new printers. That information, those printers were installed, at all locations. And then we just gave a little snippet of the things that we process within the finance department for 24. We did over almost $7,000, 7,000 purchase orders. We did over 6,000 accounts payable checks, which is payable to vendors and things like that. We did over 30,000 payroll checks, and we receipted over 4,000 receipts for the year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Paluski, Madam President, members of the board, I'm Jacob Smith, the Executive Director of Human Resources, and I'm going to give you guys a little snippet of what we've been doing. So we had our summer learning program hiring, which consisted of 87 employees. Our new hires for the 24-25 since April of 2024 has been 115 new hires and 41 transfers for the certified employees, 46 new hires and 11 transfers for the classified employees. As of 8/1/24, we had 13 teacher vacancies. As of today, that was 9 teacher vacancies. And if the board approved the personnel report, then that was 5 less, leaving 4 teacher vacancies. We've improved our licensure processes and been working through that. Ms. Reddix has taken the charge. We also update yearly our handbook, calendar, contract dates, and salary schedules. Our calendar reminder for the board and the community is we still are on the early release model, and so there's over 45 hours that are associated with school-wide PLCs on Wednesdays, and Dr. Paluski has given direction along with school performance, Dr. Hooper, and everybody as far as how schools are going to be spending their time doing that, and we have a schedule of events that's outlined for the whole year. A reminder under that calendar as well as we still have no inclement weather days. There's no more, we have inclement weather days. There's no more AMI or virtual that's available, and so we have true snow days. That's the format under LEARNS. There's a reorganization of the Human Resources Department. I will again thank the board greatly for that. We updated our minority teacher and administrator recruitment and retention plan. We put in place our aspiring teacher permit resolution. Our new retirement dinner was a hit, and we're going to continue with that. Our Winter Wonderland was a hit, and we're going to continue with that. We started our educator pathway fair this year for individuals that are in non-licensed positions that have an interest in becoming a teacher, and so providing them formats for that and scholarships. In Touch, In Tune newsletter has been started by HR this year as well. It is sent out. We're going to continue with that whenever our staff gets back. We have a corporate sponsorship with U of A, Little Rock for scholarships, and the new apprentice program, which was fostered and pushed by my department, and Dr. Nickerson was institutional in that as well. So the district priorities for the calendar selection this year, so obviously we're still, like I said, under that early release model, and we use the professional learning communities to drive that decision for early release. Improving teacher skills, knowledge, collaborative study planning, expertise exchange, and professional dialogue is the purpose of that PLC model, and so that's what we are wanting to see happen at each school site within those learning communities. And we want to improve the educational aspirations, achievement, and attainment of all students through stronger distributive leadership among teachers to improve rigorous, relevant, and innovative learning. That is our calendar. The early release days are outlined in orange. This is our year start and end times for elementary, middle, and high. And then this is our new start and end times for early release Wednesdays, and some notes are associated at the bottom that discuss the full 5-day work weeks. On shorter weeks, there'll be no early release, and those are listed there. Thank you.
Good evening, board members. Dustin Barnes, Communications Coordinator. My office, we worked on the Back to School Information Guide, which you have a copy of there. It's been emailed to all of our families, and we printed some copies at the schools, and so those families, particularly those probably at open house tonight, will be getting a copy. And it's available in English and Spanish. Usually I do a new principal introduction, so we have 3 new principals in our district, and so I did a video and I shared those on social media and shared those to those individual communities. We did information or sent information on the assistant principals and central office administrators that we have new in our district. and I also communicated the information on the events that you see listed there. The registration fair, the new school times, open house, immunization fair, school supply lists, and the new school times. I put that twice, I'm sorry, but that's what my office has done.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes.
Good evening. I'm Carlos Corbin, and I'm standing in for Chief Finks. Are we on?
Well, I've got student-centered next. Are we jumping? And then I got child. Just let me know if you're jumping that far ahead or we're.
No, sir.
Okay. We'll follow in order.
Yes, sir.
Madam President, members of our boards, Dr. Paluski, update from the Student Services Office. We welcomed our new 504/Transportation Administrator, Ms. Patty Randall. That has been a blessing to us. That was added mid-stride last year, so we're reporting on that now. Hope I didn't steal Ms. Coleman's thunder with that one. But we are grateful for that because that's built a bridge for our bus drivers and communication to have someone directly that they deal with in regards to transportation discipline. Mr. Barnes referenced the registration fair was a major success. We were able to get a lot of new families enrolled. It was a busy day. We were able to feed families, so it was a big night. It takes a lot of work, and I want to give a shout out to Ms. Hale in her absence tonight. She does a great job working with our office to help coordinate that event, and all of our registrars and secretaries. It was all hands on deck, and they did a really good job of helping families. Some schools had a few more attendance just due to the demographics of the area. So schools that didn't have as many people at the registration fair, their secretaries were able to go over and help those schools that did. So it was a true dream team event. We are currently working with our building leaders to ensure the clear understanding of how to implement and use our student handbook. That's a conversation I feel like we have every time I sit in this seat about how we apply our handbook. So that's going to be an ongoing process with our principal check and connects over the course of the year, working with our directors of school performance. Also supporting new principals with operational procedures and conducting building walkthroughs to evaluate unused spaces and items. What we've noticed in some of our visits, we've got a lot of clutter, so we've been working with our principals, collaborating on how we can get some things out of the way that they don't need. One of our final thoughts is about the fighting policy. We did have last year was an interesting year in dealing with our fighting policy. So we've got a lot of things ironed out at the secondary level, and we're going to continue to remind our students that fighting is not something we'll tolerate here in the North Little Rock School District. And last but not least, we continue to work with Operation Hero, which it was really new last year, but we're also evaluating a component that would allow us to streamline our processes for facility use. So when the community wants to use one of our facilities, Operation Heroes has an extension that would allow us to be able to provide a link online, and at that time they would be able to request safety services, request HVAC, request custodians, anything that you would need to use a building. It would all be housed and hubbed through one platform, and that would be internally, so it would automatically schedule the air. It would automatically go out to the different components that's needed. So that is something that is new and cool that we're working towards implementing for this school year. You have to change the slide for us.
Next slide, please.
Is the battery going dead?
Something happened.
There.
There it is.
Oh.
Nice shirt, Miss Dennis.
Now we're there. Mary Lee Dennis, Child Nutrition Director. I mean, I kind of hesitate to call myself that. I feel like I've been renamed the NLRSD Barbecue Crew. But, hey, if any of you kind of want to smell my hair, you can smell the smoker that we've been operating all day. But start for the school year, we've had all of our child nutrition contracts approved by you all on July 11th. We, in turn, when we get all those bids in, we have to go into our nutrition software, update all of those prices for every single thing that we purchase, And then, for example, if our salt changed or if the flour we changed, we have to go in and change all of that out in all of our recipes before I can make those menus. So all of that was done in order to plan our August and September menus. We're rolling kind of with the same cycle for August and September until we can get student surveys back to see what items we can change out, what items are the preferences, because we want to keep those favorites on our menu. Again, fully staffed as of about 30 minutes ago. No, we are not fully staffed. We have been, kind of my next bulleted point is we had our training the last 2 days with all of our staff. Well, 7 people did not show up to training yesterday, so I contacted them saying, hey, did you miss the memo? Are you coming back to work with us? No, they're not coming back. So we are short 7 staff members as of yesterday, so we're working really closely with HR of getting back on track. Our managers came back on track Monday. We did a training with them from 8 to 12, kind of just to set the standards with them, again, to remind them, because we do have our ADE Child Nutrition Unit State Administrative Review this school year. So the state will be coming in, not only reviewing our records at the Child Nutrition Office, but they'll come in and come on site to 3 of our schools. So they'll observe breakfast and lunch at our schools. So we just wanted to make sure that everyone is under the same standard as we prepare for that state audit for a successful audit program. We updated our child nutrition handbook. We have all of our staff back in the buildings tomorrow for cleaning, organizing, and prepping and getting ready for the first day of school on Monday. I also set meetings with some local farmers to continue our farm-to-school efforts with our smoker for local meats, but not just meats. We're looking at expanding that into produce. So contacting the local farmers and seeing how we can work together for produce. It's a little bit tricky, again, because produce time of year of harvesting and cultivating is kind of coming near an end when we're wrapping up into school. So we're working with them on how to meet that. Also, we reapply for that fresh fruit and vegetable program for our elementary schools. We should hear something back by the middle of September. And then we had all of our vent hoods cleaned by 5-star cleaning, just to make sure that we're up to date on all of our fire inspection services. And we've really noticed that keeping maintenance of our equipment will prolong them and their operation. So we've really tried to put an emphasis on maintaining our equipment and not just band-aiding that on the back end. And technology.
It's all good, Cap.
I think he'll be right back after I'm done.
I was going to, yeah.
He could have just stayed up
Good evening, board members. I'm Randy Riddle. I'm the Director of Technology. Things we've been working on this summer is with the new printers.
Wait a minute.
A new paper cut software with it. So it has a new feature called the Follow Me Queue. So the print jobs don't print until the teacher gets there and taps their ID badge to it. And there's a universal print queue now. So if they're at elementary, middle, or high school, or administration, you can print to those queues, and any printer in any elementary you can go up to and print to it. So it makes it more convenient for them and wastes less paper. Server infrastructure upgrades, you guys approved this early in the summer for me. Thank you so much. Those parts have started coming in. We've started working on that. We replaced GoGuardian this year with a new technology called Bloxy. We've had a train today. We'll have a train tomorrow for it. It's basically an improved version of GoGuardian that's at a cheaper price. It comes with better self-harm alerts for the students that we'll work with Secure and the principals to get out. One thing we did this summer as well is with ClassLink, we worked closely with HR and finance on this to help with onboarding. Student faculty accounts are not automatically created upon employment or enrollment, and they're automatically disabled if the student leaves the district or the employee leaves. When a new employee is hired, we get a copy of it, HR does, security and finance do, so everyone knows that there's a new employee involved to get the process going for them. They also get that in a welcome email. For faculty training, we're continuing our cybersecurity and data security training this fall with a new program called Phishing Box. People will dislike me around Christmas. I got a lot of good phishing emails ready for them, so look out for the Starbucks in your emails. And then we have continued Bloxing training this year of our teachers as well.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Jamie Coleman. I'm Director of Transportation. Dr. Pelusi, Superintendent, Madam President, and the board. So far this summer, what we've been doing is making sure that non-working cameras are working. We've even had to replace a few cameras. We also did the state bus inspections, and we've completed all necessary repairs that needed to be made. All of our driver files have been updated to include the first of the 2 mandatory motor vehicle checks that we have to do every year. The second one, of course, will be in January. Routes are being updated daily, and they have already been posted. They were actually posted, I believe, Friday. We've updated our transportation handbook. We're still continuing the stop finder training. And on July 29th, Ms. Scarver and I began going to all the schools to make sure that they had access to Viewfinder, which is a part of our routing system. However, Viewfinder will only allow the school officials and teachers to view a child's bus information. They won't be able to change it, but it will allow them to see if a student is actually on a bus or if they're not on the bus, and if they are assigned to the bus, it'll allow them to see the bus stop, the bus time, and the bus number. We also had our professional development this week. It began Monday. Of course, there's a schedule down. We had CPR training. We did some training with safety services. We did online procedures with our finance department. This morning, all the buses, if everybody was out and about, you probably see all the buses on the roads this morning. They did their dry runs. We also did some aid training. One last thing that's not up there is we're doing trying something a little different this year. And there's these little zip ties. So this morning, every elementary school was delivered colored zip ties, and every color represents a bus. So we have more colors. There's purple, brown, blue, red, all colors. So every bus, every student as they get off the bus, the elementary schools will be attaching these around the strap of their backpack. That way tomorrow afternoon when they get ready to get back on that bus, they'll know, this pink, you need to go to the pink bus, or you need to go to the purple bus. So this is something new we're trying out, and they were all delivered today, so we'll see how it goes.
Hey, I'm Kim Martin, Custodial Supervisor. Good afternoon. The custodial department cleaned rooms not being used during the summer learning loss. When the program ended, we cleaned all the rooms that weren't utilized. At the conclusion of the summer program, the staff cleaned all other areas efficiently as possible. At Amboy, Glenview, and Meadow Park, they cleaned after the painting was completed, and then they moved their furniture back in the classroom to where they were ready for school. The staff attended the custodial professional development with ASBA, which is Arkansas School Board Association, with topics for annual training. And something I failed to mention, North Little Rock Fire Department came out and showed us the proper use of a fire extinguisher. That was a big hit when it was 110 degrees outside, but we went outside and did it anyway. So. 7th and 8th grade and 6th grade, their halls are stripped and waxed, and at the academy, the entire building was stripped and waxed. The gym floors were refinished by the custodial staff at Ridge Road, 7th and 8th grade, and the academy. And the high school auxiliary gym floor and the arena floor was refinished by gym masters. And now it's safety time.
Okay, rookie.
He was just anxious, that's all.
That's
he wanted
right.
to give his
He's
little report.
over-prepared. Welcome, Captain Corbin.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Captain Carlos Corbin, and I'm sitting in for Chief Finks. There I go. The Safety Services Department, we're now operating out our new location. If you hadn't had a chance to see it, please come by and visit with us. We are very proud of that facility. And we actually moved in our last member of our team in today, this week. The department is, all the schools are fully staffed with security officers and nursing staff to start the new year. The CSSOs, they all attended Arkansas Safe School Conference, and we also conducted a joint training with North Little Rock Police Department. And I want to make sure that I thank them. They did a great job in teaching our officers you know, how to perform during active shooter events. The nursing staff attended the Basic Life Support Instructors course presented by First American Response. We also conducted a state-required site assessment of all our schools and facilities, campuses, and had those completed in accordance to Act 615-1303. And finally, we want to make everyone cognizant of the safety services operation plans they were updated, and also want to remind everyone of the symbols we use now during emergency operations. We have the whole symbol, signal, which means that you are in the room, in your area, and clear the halls. Secure is go inside, lock all outside doors. Lockdown is locks, lights out of sight. Evacuate means to go to the designated location for your school. And shelter is according to the announced hazard and do the preferred strategy. Any questions?
Good job, Captain.
Thank you, sir.
Well done, just like a pro. Are there any, from our first part, any school board member questions? Okay.
I did. I have one. When the contracts, I thought that HR did that. And now the business office is doing it. Is that something new, or has it always been that way?
It's always been that way.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I have a question for Mr. Riddle. Are all those laptops that are at the middle school campus, are they ready to go?
I don't know if that was a thumbs up.
Oh, he was like this.
You're back. Yes, all the laptops at the middle school, are they ready to go?
Most of them have been repaired. Mr. Etley and Mr. Maher have been working on that a lot this summer. I'm pretty sure the majority of them are ready to go, but I will inquire with them and get back to you with that. But most of them are ready to go. I know that much, along with the Chromebooks.
Okay.
I think they fixed nearly 300 this summer. So the middle school's in good shape.
Good. That's what I wanted to hear. Thank you.
I have just an observation comment. Gym floors, awesome. They look wonderful. And thank you to transportation with the buses bringing everybody in. That was just neat seeing the adults getting off the school bus to come in. That was great.
I had a quick question as far as the I know we had talked about it before, but did we ever implement, or was it further discussion as far as like the Chromebook insurance?
So that is something that will be in my October 3rd presentation.
Okay.
I'm working on that now. Working with asking some other districts on what they've done for that, because I know we had a comment. That's where I came from, but I don't want to base it just off theirs. But I'll have that in that presentation for y'all. So, or a recommendation of what I think would work best for us in that.
Okay, and then under, hold on a second. I know, Dustin, we got to get you some help in communications. I saw that. Where did Dustin go? Oh. Anyway, he's communicating, right? There you go. So I saw that he had an open position, and hopefully we can get that filled for him soon. Two. Good job. HR done a marvelous job thus far. Everybody's working together, and I know I can tell you look a little bit more relaxed because you all have some help. So good job there. And finance, keep everything rolling. I'm trying to think now with maintenance. As far as who handles, is that a maintenance or is it as far as what is it called, building services? As far as the painting, do you all do the painting? Is that part of that deal too? Okay. That's what I had. That's all I had. Everybody, good report.
Okay, we'll move on to part 2, which is on the instructional side of the services, and I think we'll start Dr. Hooper. If you're And Dr. White and Dr. Lightfoot.
So good evening, everyone, Board President, Dr. Paluski, and members of the board. I'll go ahead and get started. So I'm still continuing to support Dr. Paluski in his areas of standards 1 through 5. In addition to that, I am also supporting secondary campuses during this time, so I will start from there. So I've been collaborating with Human Resources, Finance, and the school office as it pertains to principals on vacancies, along with elementary school numbers, trying to monitor that on a day-to-day basis so that we can balance that out during the first week of school. We're trying to do that now. Continuing to support hiring for campus vacancies as they come about, and trying to work with master schedules to see if we can consolidate either some classrooms or to see if we can just adjust where needed. Meeting with my direct reports on a weekly basis. This week has been a little off due to convocation and just supporting Dr. Paluski on his opening of schools presentation, but we will resume that next week, and continuing to have our cross collaboration among other departments. With that, I'm going to skip a little bit. We are continuing to implement our non-negotiables district-wide, but in that role of secondary, I just want to just speak on as I'm meeting with principals, we are creating campus goals, prioritizing what their needs are, whether it's vacancies, ensuring that we have a strong opening of schools. What is that going to look like on the first week? What is that going to look like on the first day? So I will stop there.
In preparation, I'm Tracy Lightfoot. I am the elementary director of school performance. And so in preparation for our school opening this year, I've supported principals along with the director of school effectiveness to make sound budgetary decisions and to help with their Title I budget overages and to help move into the school year with more solid footing. We supported building principals and hiring 52 licensed teachers and 2 assistant principals. And are supported for this summer, though we've had 3 principals this year. We've brought 1 principal on board at Boone Park this summer for the opening of school with her building needs, first days of school, and her master scheduling. Her name is Denisha Stroud. Developed and planned and executed, along with the Director of School Effectiveness, our 5-day Leadership Institute that was focused primarily on safety and on teaching and learning. And with that, our focus was on school improvement planning and those processes with our principals. As we prepare for school opening, I will support the principal capacities to lead instructional change through their professional development activities and coaching them in embedded professional practice. We will continue through our instructional walks and rounds this year, and we are still focused on our non-negotiable practices. I will say that we have really made progress this year in 24-25, and we're actually looking forward to in 25-26 to improve even better. Feel good about where our schools are with their systems, improving systems of safety, and we are developing in that protocol of coaching teachers to help them to get better, stronger, and faster. And with that development, that we want to carry on Dr. Paluski's goal of building strong distributive leadership practices so that we can build strong teams with the personnel units that we do have. We align our data-driven school performance practices with innovative curriculum and professional development for high levels of teaching and learning in our district. Dr. Paluski has presented these slides on our data from pre-K up to 2. He's done that through our institution, our Leadership Institute, and to our presentation of schools. But I'd like to just take this opportunity during this board meeting just to highlight our pre-K program. Our pre-K program has ensured certified staff 100%, except new hires, has completed their letters and science of reading. They have adopted a HQIM for comprehension and phonics and phonemic awareness. And they are ensuring that pre-K students are entering kindergarten with foundational progress. And we hear it and we see it through the kindergarten data from our kindergarten teachers. Our pre-K program in North Little Rock School District is absolutely growing and thriving. And with that said, that the North Little Rock School District early childhood pre-K has received national recognition for really great reading for the work this program has done in doing with early literacy and the science of reading. And if you only just talk to pre-K teachers, they speak the language of instruction, learning, PLCs, and collaboration. And we sure appreciate the work that Ms. Chris has done under the leadership of Dr. White. There's a video there if you'd like to see more on that recognition. What impacted the first grade data when it came to decoding? Well, we had all of our leaders and K2 teachers receive Wilson's Foundations training. And Dr. Nickerson was very instrumental in putting that forward. And then our focus is on small group instruction and progress monitoring. Progress monitoring is really going to be an extra push that we're going to intentionally place this year. We had collaborative instructional walks with ADE and school leaders, which was impactful. And that was the case also with our second grade core phonics data. We also say there was some inconsistencies, but we did show some growth in our 3-5 literacy screener data summary. So with that, we have the Director of School Effectiveness.
I am Dr. Shawn Nickerson, and I am the Director of School Effectiveness and Literacy Enforcement. And I've been working really fast and furious this summer on a lot of professional development. I've worked collaboratively with the Executive Director of School Performance and coordinators and our data coordinator to engage leaders in the campus needs assessment and to make sure that they're writing campus performance targets that are aligned with our district performance target, and that they're making sound, they have created sound structures for the start of the school year. I've been working to develop, I've developed a new teacher support plan in collaboration with Arch4 to provide support for our novice teachers year 1, 2, and 3, to continue the support throughout the school year to make sure that we're meeting their needs. I've collaborated, developed, and planned and executed Teacher Summer Professional Learning Institute, Leadership Institute, and New Teacher Orientation Week. I'm working collaboratively with our dyslexia team to make sure that we're tracking our rise in science of reading to ensure that we are in compliance, looking at our professional development protocols for our district to make sure that we are consistently aligning our practices with our Arkansas standards as it relates to what's required for professional development. I've been working collaboratively with our homeless liaison and parent and community engagement coordinator, and we host our first parent and community engagement kickoff on August the 6th. And we use that time to ensure that the work that we are doing is aligned with Goal 2, where we are looking at the resources that we have in our district with our homeless liaison and making sure that those resources are getting to campuses and that we are collaborating and aligning the work that we do in those two departments. I've been working to support campuses with making decisions with their Title I funding as it relates to overages, as well as looking at our Title IV budget as well. Working collaboratively to coordinate and ensure compliance with our PBIS support, which is our Title IV budget, and ensuring that our campuses have PBIS support for the 24-25 school year.
Thank you, Dr. Nickerson. Ms. Barker?
Good evening, board members, Dr. Paluski, Director of the Board. I am Crystal Barker, the Parent, Family, and Community Engagement Coordinator. I returned on contract on July the 15th, 2024 at 8 o'clock a.m.
Welcome
And took off. I assisted Dr. Nickerson with the information needed for the Arkansas app, where you used to hear me talk about the school plan. And with the app, all of that information went into that one document. You see there that I will host our parent customer service hospitality training. We had a date set, but we rescheduled. I'll be rescheduling due to everything else that was going on. But you know, that session is to speak with our front office staff and everyone that makes contact with our parents, because I always say our secret sauce in North Little Rock School District has to be our customer service and hospitality, how we treat and make our parents feel. I attended attended and supported the registration fair on July 25th. We registered children for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, and that we continue to do that. Held the We Need You recruitment and orientation session here in this room, trying to recruit PTA members and volunteers as well as mentors. You know, those things, we really work hard to bring them to support us in our building. Represented North Little Rock School District at the North Little Rock Family Fun Fest that was held at Sherman Park on Saturday, August the 10th, where over 500 people came through. I had a table set up for North Little Rock School District, and Heather Rose Newbern had our bus express outside for families to go on. We were signing up children for Dolly Parton on the bus and inside, but I had an intentional idea. I had a packet where I talked to parents directly about attendance. And I shared with them that our district goal is 96% attendance. And I'm really going to try to push that out a lot in communication as we communicate, because many were very shocked to see how many minutes, when they miss certain minutes, how many lessons are really missed. It was just really shocking to them. So just really want to push that. Community support staff, you heard Dr. Nickerson. She's pulled us together, consisting of the human service workers, the PEPs, homeless liaison, and school wellness coordinator. We call ourselves the community support team. But we did have a good kickoff on August the 6th over at the Justice Center, where we did focus on Goal 2. We came out with action steps to support, and it was really focused around attendance. Some of the things we talked about is working on decreasing the absence so that we can reach that 96%. Some of those things will consist of contacting parents. I don't call them home visits, we call them porch visits now because of COVID, but definitely making that contact that we'll need to ensure that our students are in school. We will continue with the Parent North Star, Great Rise, and Mentor volunteer recognitions, as well as our NEAT program. But I'm going to add a little social media announcement when we do NEAT schools. We're going to go around the schools that kind of show. We're going to work with our PEPs and our schools that don't have PEPs so we can highlight. You know, when people see their name in a positive light, everybody want to try to do it. So that's the goal, to get persons really encouraged and excited about being a NEAT school. You know about the district calendar that is housed in Camille Campus area, but I help with that. We pay attention to that. We know you pay attention to that, so you know what's going on in the district. We'll continue that. I'm scheduling Monday night hour power sessions. What I do is do a lot of listening to my colleagues to see what's going on and what I really think parents need to hear in that hour power session. So that's how those topics are created and executed on Monday nights. I'm working on a night school. I've been meeting with our recreation center leaders, and we're going to do some night school with parents, you know, having them in those areas come out to some sessions there at the rec centers. I enjoy what you said, Dr. Redis, about the bus, because we really want to talk about it. And I hadn't said nothing to Ms. Coleman, but putting them on the bus, just giving them that feeling. Ride the bus like your kid ride and have some fun and really do some learning around professional going into the schools, how to dress, the attire, and all of those topics, as well as working with Shorter about those that want to get their GED and take on some hours. Working with the director, Cis Pontes, to collaborate on plans and activities to engage with our Hispanic families. I did attend the grand opening. If you hadn't seen their facility, it's housed on Senate Hill. Very nice building, and we're meeting a lot because the things that we'll do to make sure that we take care of our families, all of our families in the North Little Rock School District. This department is fluid. We're always adding and doing what it takes to get our parents engaged and involved because our overall goal is, as I say, this is us, united for student success.
Ms. Berger. Dr. White.
One question then, Crystal. Did we register any voters?
I think they had about 12 get registered. I know we took the forms in, so we did give those forms to them.
Good evening, Madam Board President, Dr. Paluski, members of the board. I'm Sharisa White, the Executive Director of the Curriculum Innovation Design Department. Before I begin, I'd like to recognize a few members actually, who came out tonight. Would you please stand and be recognized? And for all the viewing members of the team, I'd just like to say thank you for your unwavering support and your dedication to the district. You are appreciated. So we have a lot, there's so much that we've done, so much so that I couldn't fit everything on a few slides, so I do have a link there for you guys, and I hope that you will click on that to see all the things that we've been doing. First of all, we welcome Ms. Shanda Macon from the Little Rock School District. We're excited to have her, and we know she'll be an awesome asset to the district. She's already hit the ground running with processes around CTE and Perkins and innovation. You'll be hearing more from her throughout the year. We've been doing a lot of PD for the district, as you see there. We facilitated PD at the Leadership Institute along with District PD in June and August. Also, of course, we review and approve instructional materials year-round. So happy to say that we now have resources, as you see there, in all of our core content areas. We're working on K-5 social studies as we speak. Of course, we have been collaborating within and across departments. We've got a lot of things that's been pushed down, aligned to the LEARNS Act, so one of which are screeners, and you're going to hear more about that from us. We actually have a presentation that will come and present, I believe, September 5th. So look forward to that. So we've been pushing out guidance to schools around the K-3 literacy screeners and the K-2 math screeners, and then also the numeracy plans that are required for grades 3 through 8. So we have written plans established for all the teams to provide guidance to them. So we're pushing those things out. Additionally, we are revising our pacing guides and our scope and sequences. One of the things that we're excited about is that our scope and sequences, as we know it, are now transforming into year-to-glance documents. And we'll be bringing that to you guys as well so that you can see it. And then, of course, we revised our assessment calendar, and we have that up on our website. And once again, there's that link with a lot of things that we've been working on, certainly not an exhaustive list. So Dr. Stoll could not be here tonight. She's actually moving her son to college, but she has several updates as well. I won't read all of them, but she did want me to reiterate the interview and hiring process that's been taking place in her department. Also, as you see, that kindergarten transition of 135 special education students who will be attending this year. Also, they've been working hard to order and secure materials for all teachers. The other thing is, if you'll take a look at that second bullet up there, they reviewed caseloads for all services and assigned staff personnel for the 24-25 school year. And then she's super excited. She tells this all the time, is that she's happy that her and her team are now at Highway 161 in the new building. We're happy to answer any questions that you have.
Let's keep it going. Is anybody doing Miss Hales or
Yes.
Miss
Edwards?
Oh, Miss Edwards going to do Miss Hale, who's also not present due to taking her son to college. So Miss Edwards will give us some highlights, and then Coach Ballon will take us home.
Okay. Hello again. Kathy's been rolling over the eSchool software for the new school year. She's also adding staff to eSchool and assigning their buildings. We're also removing retired and resigned teachers from the software. She's processing promotions and retentions of students. She's updated the master schedule for the 9 elementary schools and the early childhood center. She supported secondary counselors as they build the master schedules. She support Power School online registration for new and returning students, train new users on software, the eSchool software, and she updated the comprehensive guidance for plan for the North Little Rock School District. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Coach, take us home.
I want you to stay up here. I don't want to go myself.
All right. So I will say I followed directions and did one slide. So just a few things we have coming up in the athletic world. West Ballon student athlete development and academic engagement. So we're bringing back the Meet the Charging Wildcats. You've probably seen that. We've tried to get that out to everybody. That's Wednesday night. Super excited about that. We're going to bring all of our kids in and celebrate them and get them on the field. We're going to have some performances and selling some items, just trying to get everybody excited. It's free to get in. We're going to sell some hamburger and hot dog plates to try to generate some funds to help that go, keep that going. But we're really excited about that. We hope to see everybody there. It's something we haven't done in a long time, so there may be a few bumps in the road, but we're trying real hard to make sure that that's a good experience for everybody. As you know, we raised the ticket prices. This year we're going to the $7 for the 9th through 12th and then the 5. There's senior banners. Every senior now will have a banner. That's new. We're really excited about that. Reba Colley, one of our teachers, has volunteered to take pictures of all of our kids for us. She's helped coordinate that. We've asked for $20 from the student, and when the athletic department's covering the rest of the expenses. Of course, if they can't, we work that out. But right now, we're set to have them all up. We're hoping, our fingers crossed, that they'll be up for Wednesday night. And Dr. Redis has given us some recommendations of where she thinks they should go. So we want them to surprise everybody. So we're hoping those will be ready. But we're really excited about that. And we'll continue that with the winter and the spring sports. And that'll kind of be a gift from us to them whenever they leave here. So we're real excited. Again, Wildcat City is up and running. In the stadium, we'll have all different things, umbrellas, hats, signs, tumblers, phone cases. And so all your Wildcat gear will come through there. We're excited to announce that we've actually, when I did this, we had 21 positions filled. We actually were able to fill 23 coaching positions. That's from the reorganization that we were able to do with adding some positions. We're in critical areas, as well as shuffle some of our talent that was already in our campuses to fill some of those voids. So we're really excited about that. The support from Dr. Plousky and everyone, all the board, to make that happen is a really big deal. And then we've kind of overseeing the elementary leagues now. And tonight, actually, we had kids at all the elementary schools. And they were signing them up for volleyball, for basketball, and for cheer. So there was representatives from every school, or at every school, from our cheerleaders and our volleyball players. And so that was really cool. And I didn't know she was going to sneak in. But I didn't put this on here, but I did want to, Ms. Faulkner is our new joining us in May, I think it was. But, man, she's jumped in. Yeah, exactly. I knew what I was getting, but honestly, she's even more than that. Just some things that I wanted to, this is the kind of person that you guys allowed us to hire, someone that has been painting, cleaning, pressure washing, mentoring middle school coaches, working alongside me and all the creating new systems and processes. She's been running around all night at all the elementary schools, helping the kids. She's been a tremendous help in putting together Meet the Charging Wildcats. She just helps me remember things. She's a great support to me. Love her to death. I'm so glad you're on the team. I didn't know she was going to be here. And then the last thing I would just say is social media has been a huge thing for us. We started it a little over 9 months ago. We're up over 1,500 followers and likes. And so our message is getting out. And so we just want to keep plugging that, because that's where we can share all of our good stuff. And so if you're not on, please join. And if you have anything you need us to get out, let us know. But other than that, I think that's it.
Coach, is there anything you want to say before we announce? But you have looked at the plan of the indoor sports complex.
Can I? Okay, I wasn't sure how.
But you could just give a preliminary, just give your feelings on what it.
No too big a secrets. Yes, so super excited about that and the support. We had our meeting, and then Ms. Faulkner and I actually were able to go back with the architect and make a few changes. And so we're going to get that follow-up coming up. But, man, it's going to be amazing. It's got everything that we could ever ask for, and more. Our kids deserve it. And it'll be I'd venture to say it'll be the nicest one around in the state. And so if we can get this to happen, guys, it's going to be amazing for our kids, for our community, it'll be something we can all be proud of. And it's something that we're missing. It really is. It's something that we're missing. So I don't want to give away too many secrets, but yes, it's going to be amazing. Does anybody have any questions?
No, great job.
All right, thank you.
Good job, Coach.
Very good.
You sure?
I'm positive. You did such a good job.
Good job, Coach.
Appreciate you.
Any other questions? We'll keep it going.
No, they can go home.
I did have a question. I'm sorry. As far as like, under the nursing component, like as far as with, have we addressed or made preparations as far as the COVID numbers? Like since they're sneaking up, have we kind of addressed that as far as in the nursing component?
We always do. If you go actually onto our website, we do have our COVID-19 dashboard, which is on our website. Right now, that data is showing 0 across the district, so we'll continue to monitor that as we go forward. But that's right on our dashboard. We've been doing that since COVID. I've just pulled it up right here. It's showing 0 cases at the moment.
Okay, so we like have all of our like still disinfectant stuff in house.
We do.
Like
We're
ready.
ready. Yes, ma'am. We're ready at a moment's notice if there's any kind of spike. And Chief Finks and Nurse Green do a great job, as with the health department, to understand kind of what the trends are and helping to keep us informed. If we see a spike at an individual school, we'll be able to address it.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Awesome. I want to thank all of our staff for their preparation, and just kudos to our executive team members for putting all this together to share all the great work that they've done to make in these next 3 days a very successful opening. So I appreciate everyone's leadership on our executive leadership team. They deserve a lot of credit. There was not anything in maintenance, but Mr. Logan, do you want to provide any update on maintenance?
As far like any major fixes, repairs, or whatever.
As I'm sure you all know, we always have things happening in the maintenance department. Highlights would be painting over the summer at 3 of our elementary schools. Secondary to that is HVAC repairs. It's hot and teachers are coming back on contract. A lot of major repairs at our high school. We have one of the most complex HVAC systems in the state. Actually, the only few people with a license even be able to touch some of the components within that system. So that's a unique fix whenever we do have problems. But we have been able to make quite a few repairs and updates to that particular system, along with completing the HVAC install at the North Little Rock Arena. Outside of that, we are working diligently to solidify a maintenance director, hopefully in the coming month.
Thank you, Mr. Logan.
Thank you.
Okay. Madam President, members of our Board of Education, we'll continue with our last information item, which is 11.3, the North Little Rock School District ACT testing data update. And I'll ask Dr. Brooke Reynolds, who's not only our coordinator of innovative virtual learning, but she's also doubled as our coordinator of accountability assessment and data management. So we do appreciate Dr. Reynolds' leadership and high-level overview with a quick update as it relates to our ACT results.
Good evening, school board members and Dr. Paluski. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share our ACT testing data with you. Okay. Make sure I can do this. Oh, good. So the purpose of our presentation is to share with you AC data that from the 23-24 school year that are high school and COE students. So I clicked mine and not yours. There we go. So this ACT does have ESSA implications, so I wanted to share with you what that included. It's calculated in that SQSS score for our high schools, and the ACT is grade 12 students that are submitted statewide from the Cycle 7 report. And what it is students with an ACT composite of greater than 19 give us 1 point, and under 19, 0. So you can see the goal we want to go. And as far as the ACT readiness, we also get points for that. And so you look at ACT scores from the prior 3 years from all students, and they find that highest ACT composite score for each student in grade 12. And if you have an ACT math score of 22 or above, you get a half point. The reading score of 22 or above, a half point. And then a science score of 23 or above, you get a half point. So that's how we get points towards that piece in that SQSS. So again, kind of when I did the last presentation with data privacy, there's some values in here, so I just wanted to explain those. So Arkansas uses an N size of 15 to identify students in a subgroup. So this school, that means this school must have a minimum of 15 students to have that subgroup accountable. Arkansas is also committed to privacy, so anytime you see a group of 10 or less, you're going to see an N value there. It'll be RV, which is a restricted value. And that's just so the information, you can't just easily identify students in those subgroups. So you'll see that throughout this presentation. So let's look at the North Little Rock High School trend data. Happy to say we had a 1-point jump from 23 to 24, which is amazing. You can imagine. Yes.
That's right.
And so you can definitely see, you know how hard, if you've ever had students taking this test, you know how hard that 1 point is to get. So think about our whole high school being able to do that. And so you can kind of see the trend data for the past 5 years where we were at the 18.8. We kind of did a slide. We can probably attribute that a little bit to COVID. Not as many students were taking the test. There's all kinds of things. And then we were back on the rise. So excited about that rise in that for the high school. Broke it down for demographics for you. So this is just from the last year, those that took that 11th grade test that we give every year at the high school. So you can see the breakdown of males and females, and then there are some other responses, and then you can see the composite score, and then you can see the composite score in each of those areas. So you can see where we're doing, better or worse. But I was thrilled that the reading was as high as it was. So that's a plus for me. Moving on to some digging deeper with demographic data. So we broke it down with our different students. Again, if you see N less than 10, that means that we cannot publish that because of the restricted value. And so you can see by demographic there the number of students tested, the number of tests they took. So just to kind of give an explanation, students can have more than one opportunity to take those tests. So, they may have taken it at different times. So you see the number of students, the number of times they took the test, and then those scores that averaged out through there. So that's what we're looking at here. Next slide is, what does it mean to meet readiness? And so I kind of gave the definition. This is from the ACT website. So it just lets them know that their minimum score is they have a high probability of succeeding in that college course. So it says students that have a benchmark, a 50% chance of making a B or better, 75% making a C or better. And this is the readiness benchmark right here. And those were those points. Besides the English, they don't give us points for English, but those scores are the ones we got those points for that SQSS score that I mentioned earlier. So that's just what meeting readiness means. So looking at NLRH students that met readiness. And so you can see the number of students that met readiness in those scores. So even though we had a jump in the overall composite score, the number of students that are meeting that readiness and prepared for college is lower. So, you just can look at, it's just mathematics. You may have some really high scores, which we knew to have the young man with a 36. He offsets some of the lower scores. So even though we did a great growth job, we still have some work to do with just getting students to meet that readiness and be prepared for that post-secondary education. The next one, and so again, I broke it down based on another part of our demographic system. Again, when you see that N less than 10, that means, or the RV is a restricted value because it may just be 1 or 2 students. The N less than 10, that means that subgroup did not have at least 10 students meet those categories. And so you can look here and see what what our ethnicity, where they met readiness, and how many students met readiness in each of those categories. So we have multiple data points to look at as far as that readiness benchmark. Okay. So let's move on to the Center of Excellence. Again, they have also had a trend upward, almost a full point. So that was a nice positive thing as well, that it's getting better. We always want to see that upward trend. So that's the Center of Excellence. Of course, they don't have as many students, so the number of tests taken is going to be lower. You can see their composite scores in well by gender. And, you know, the students, when you see the other responses, they self-report those numbers, the students do, so they can pick whatever, you know, they want to at this point, just to kind of give you that idea. But those are composite scores from the Center of Excellence based on gender. Again, we've got another demographic point for you to look at, and the values that are restricted based on race. So there's a number of tests, number of students, number of tests they took, and their composite scores based on that. Again, I just put this again because we're going to talk about meeting readiness again. So this is just a duplicate slide before we looked at it for the Center of Excellence. So same points here, just in case you wanted to read that again if you're looking through there. And it lets you know how many students met readiness in those areas. Again, these numbers are a little low, the students that are actually meeting readiness. So again, it's one of those, you may have some really high outliers up here, but we don't have as many students meeting readiness, especially in math. That needs some things to look at. Okay, and again, here it's broken down by race, and again, lots of less than 10. So again, some things we need to improve on in the meet readiness piece. Let me talk a little bit about super score and just explain what that is, because we hear that term around, and so I went ahead and put those scores up there as well, because they're higher, because the super score takes the highest score a student makes. If they've taken the test 10 times, whatever that highest score is, it gives it to them, and it'll bump up that composite, which colleges accept, which is fantastic, because if they do well in one, they say, I really need to bring that math score up. They can really just focus on that one test, and that, you know, and really make sure they're ready for that one, and they can bump that up. So if you look there, that composite score, the high school, you know, the other one was 19.1, but overall, when you take those super scores, it goes up to a 19.6. So, you know, that's just letting you know that even though they take that average, if you go to that super score, those scores are higher. So I just wanted to explain that, because I know you may have heard that term before. And so let's talk about some next steps. I did speak with Dr. St. Louis and asked her to contribute some of these. For me, my next steps were, we are offering the ACT in October as we have in the past. We started that during COVID, just for students that didn't feel comfortable coming to the building when the ACT was given, so we started doing those. The high school is going to pay for that. It's about $42.50 a student, which is a discounted rate, and Dr. St. Louis has agreed to pay for that. We're still deciding, but I think we're going to limit it to juniors and seniors that want to take it again. And it's a great opportunity for them to get that other shot, because the more you take the test, the better you do. Another thing, the juniors will also get to take it again. The state provided one on March 11th. Again, I encourage every student, just give it a shot and go in there. It's because it's paid for, okay? So the last 3 bullet points were from Dr. St. Louis, and she said they're going to offer some test prep sessions. They want to increase student participation in the College and Career Center, and they want to provide more flex information and practice guides that students can do during their flex periods. And that is all of my ACT report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions at this point.
I just have one. Great report.
Yes.
On the ACT score and the data trends, is it based on if they took the test at the school, or does that also include if they took it off-site?
Some of the scores are, it's a combination. I'm going to get to one of my slides here, because there you can see, and let me get to the one I'm wanting to look at. The trend piece is, I think, just based on that 11th grade, and I want to double check that for you, but then some of the scores that you see, and I want to get the slide up here. when I said how many students took the test and the number of tests, that piece of data, and I'm getting back there, includes, there we go, includes, like say, number of students, number of tests. So that includes when they've taken it more than once. But this trend data here is just based off of and let me double check that, but I think that's just based off that one March test, but I have to double check that. But I think that one's just the March, but then that big piece is overall. But let me double check and make sure about it. But the other one I know for certain is it's every time they've taken it because of 253 students and 336 tests. So that does encompass everything that they've done.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Certainly.
Just one quick question.
Yes, sir.
On the super score,
Yes, sir.
if you've taken the ACT multiple times, then can you take that super score, set it aside, and take other parts of the test?
I think now, and I'm not as familiar, I do believe in it, and audience can participate. I think you on the Saturday test now you can go in and just take one test. Is anybody remembering this? I think that, but I'd have to double check if you can just go in and take one section of the test. No, when we give it, no, you take all the sections. But I feel like I've heard on those Saturday, when they go in on the Saturday and take it, just not associated with North Little Rock, I think you might can go take it, but I'll have to double check.
Are you talking about practice tests or
No,
the
no,
real
no.
tests?
That's when they're called the national tests, ACT, and that
Right.
you gotta go. You can sign up to take it at different high schools on Saturdays throughout the year. We do give it here, but it's not part of. It's just we're a testing center, and I believe you can just take like one test, but I'd have to double check.
And I think you can
Yes,
too.
I was right. Just one. You can. Yes, on yeah. Okay.
It says you can take one.
Yeah.
Students can retake 1, 2, or 3.
Right. So that would be on those Saturdays.
So you can.
Yeah.
Do you have the same amount of time?
You would have you'd have that however long you get for just that one, because
And it doesn't count against you.
no. Yeah, and your super score can never go down.
Absolutely. And
never-
Arkansas, we're one of the first states in this whole entire South to actually pass that legislation. Now other states have passed since we did, but
So
we
if
were
they
one of
want
the
to,
first.
so like when we give the test as a school district, they have to take all the sections. But if you
Right.
just wanted to sign up and go retake that math, it would be on one of those Saturday tests that are offered multiple times throughout the year. And we are a testing center at the high school.
Because some of the kids want to do that.
Yes,
They
sir.
knocked it out of the park in science.
Right.
And so they want to spend that
Focus on-
time.
yes, sir. Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I mean, my child benefited from that super score, so I'm a firm believer. And
Absolutely.
take it as many times as you can.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What about the alternative school?
Yes, ma'am. They students they are offered this October test. I just spoke with the counselor, so if any of the students at the alternative school would like to take the October test, it's available. They also take the test in March, so they take that test out at the alternative school just like the students at the high school. So that opportunity is there for them as well.
Okay, what about the practice? Previously, Doctor, they had an opportunity to teach those students down there.
Yes,
a lot of
I remember that,
tests.
yes.
Is this something that is going on and it hasn't been thought about?
Will that be something
need to happen?
Yes, it does, and that's something I'll tell Mr. Williams you asked, because I'll see him. My office is right there with him. I will let him know you asked about that, and yeah, it would be great for them to have that same opportunities out there.
They need the same opportunity. The superintendent continues to tell us there should be no gaps anywhere.
Correct. I will personally tell Mr. Williams tomorrow and say you asked about that, and then let him know.
And the only reason it doesn't happen because this board is focused on the achievements of our students.
Yes.
Is because haven't been asked perhaps of what you need, do, because I just heard something magical you just said, that the Norfolk High School is paying for all ACT tests for students. That was North Little Rock High, but I'm concerned about the alternative school.
And I've already said that they're under that same LEA, and so those funds. And I just already told Ms. Harris. Well, I spoke with her this week. I said if any of your students want to take it, high school funds are paying for it.
You're down there, so you.
My office is there.
I just want. All I'm saying is, all students should have the same opportunity.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all.
Great.
And thank you. You did an eloquent job.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Reynolds.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go on to action items, Madam President. Action items. The first action item is 12.1, the employment of personnel. The superintendent recommends the employment of personnel as discussed in executive closed session.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I also move that we accept 12.1, employment of personnel.
Second.
Moving properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Madam President, members of our Board of Education, it is my honor to recommend 12.2, which is the renaming of 7th Street Elementary School to the North Little Rock 6 Academy of Agricultural and Veterinary Science, beginning in the 25-26 school year.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I am.
Excuse me. Rather than lieu of taking all of the things, give the other board members an opportunity to make the pass.
I will, just that right after this one.
I hope so.
I'm proud to,
To make a motion,
Yes,
then I
yes,
think you can
please.
discuss.
right,
Yes.
to make a motion of action item 12.2, renaming of 7th Street Elementary to the North Little Rock 6 Academy of Agriculture and Veterinary Sciences, beginning the 25-26 school year.
Second.
Moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Yeah, comment. You want
Yeah, I was just gonna
explain
say
where we
if
are.
anybody
Go ahead,
wanted to make-
Superintendent, you update us.
No, I just wanted to say how much that I appreciate the board, the dedication. This is a very big deal. This is a historical moment. Mr. Steele, the 7th Street Advisory Committee, and I'm just very proud of all of us coming together. This will be the first time that there's any recognition of the North Little Rock 6 anywhere in the city or in the school district, and this is just a proud moment.
Absolutely, and thank you for your leadership and the board's support on this. And I know it's taken a while, and we have reached out to the families, and they are certainly appreciative and elated on this. There will be, of course, more information to come that some can attend, some cannot, and hopefully via internet.
Sure.
That we can maybe live stream it so they can enjoy it. And look forward to 2025.
Yes, and to that, just a reminder that there's a tentative, our formal ceremony will be on Monday, September 9th, 2024, which will mark the 65th anniversary of the events of the North Little Rock 6.
Correct.
So I know the advisory committee has a rough agenda, and we'll be working together to get that out, but Mr. Barnes will be getting that word out to everyone, and I think this is a very proud moment for our school district.
Okay, I'd like to ask a question. Those two ladies that's been coming for the last two board members, I would like to recognize you because are you not a part of the advisory for 7th Street? No, you weren't. And we just wanted to recognize you because we don't very seldom have visitors. And that's why I was referring to you.
Yes.
You come up to the mic. Come up to the mic.
Just if you could please.
That's the
state your
famous
name.
Melody Denise.
Melody Denise.
A entrepreneur, community leader, radio personality.
Oh my. And the proud owner of Person Taylor Family Funeral Home.
Absolutely. Like to say good afternoon, good evening to the board. Thank you for letting me address. I would like to say that I am the proud niece, my sister and I, nieces, along with Angela, of Gerald Allen Persons, one of the North Little Rock 6. So thank you again for the recognition. We are honored. I told him that, we were coming to the meetings, trying to be abreast of what's going on. So we thank you. We thank you, and we thank you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you again. Okay, we'll keep going. 12.3, Board Policy 4.04. This is on student transfers. We had, remember, 2 board meetings ago. This board meeting is in lieu of changes in the LEARNS Act, which allows really the superintendent It doesn't allow the time lapse between board meetings for transfers to take place, so the superintendent recommends a change in policy 4.04 student transfers.
I move that we accept the recommendation of the superintendent for board policy 4.04 on student transfers.
Second.
Moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye. Question. Okay. Since we're voting on this transfer, I thought Mr. Logan would be in here. I know we've gotten 300 and some students, but I'm wondering how much background has he done on these students? We, as a board, have received lawsuits because students come into our district with behavior problems, and we have to pick at those. There may be students who may need day treatment. The district will have to accept that $11,000 payment for that student. We are happy to have students, but we need to have the background. Have they been expelled from school and coming to our district? So no one is here to help me answer that, but I would like to ask you, Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, ma'am, Madam Superintendent, and I'm not sure why Mr. Logan had to step out, but we will make sure that we get the answer to that, and Dr. Hooper and I will take some notes and make sure that we follow that up in a board report question so that all board members have the same information.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so any opposed? Okay, motion carried.
Madam President, I move we approve 12.4 special meeting minutes, August 6, 2024, 12.5 special meeting minutes, August 1st, 2024, 12.6 regular meeting minutes, July 25th, 2024.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Ms. Colquitt, point of clarification. Did we vote on 12.3 board policy 4.04?
Yes.
We did. Okay. I wasn't sure if there was discussion in there. Okay.
Yeah,
I just,
Madam
I got
President,
you.
Yes, and then she had a question.
Okay.
So I just asked if
yep.
there were any opposed.
Yes, ma'am. Just wanted to clarify.
Okay.
Consent agenda.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve 13.1 bank reconciliation, 13.2 net legal balance worksheet, 13.3 monthly financial reports, 13.4 business office items, 13.5 payment of the regular bills, and 13.6 facilities use request.
Second.
Okay, moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we are to acknowledgements.
Madam President, members of the Board of Education, I'll be real quick. I just want to acknowledge all of our staff back this week, all of our executive team, everybody on board, ready to open schools, and our parents will be receiving some kind of formal communication, probably on Sunday evening, just reminding them that school starts on Monday, and we welcome them back. And just a reminder to our community, you'll see some signs out on Main Street. Just be cognitive that kids and school buses are going to be running, so just to be mindful of students out at bus stops. But we're ready.
We're ready.
Any other announcements? Okay.
If there's nothing
let's
else,
get
Madam
going.
Chair, I move that we adjourn.
Okay, all in favor?
That's a good motion,
Yeah.
Good night.